Hello everyone. Today, I have an amazing story to share with you. It's not just for your English listening practice, it's also meant to inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Impossible, and it will show you how hard work and determination can truly change lives. So sit back, listen carefully, and get ready to be inspired. In the heart of Tharparkar, a dry and dusty region in southern Pakistan, there is a small village named Morano. The land is flat and covered with golden sand. Wind often blows hard, lifting the sand into the air. There are no big buildings or smooth roads, only simple huts made of mud and straw. In this quiet village lived Amina Khan, a 19-year-old girl with big eyes full of dreams. Her family was poor but proud. They kept goats, grew vegetables when rain came, and made their own food. Life was hard. Water was far away, and the sun was always hot. But Amina had something special inside her, a deep desire to learn. Amina's village had only one small school, and it was far. She had to walk almost an hour every morning to reach it. The classroom had no fan, no proper chairs, and very few books. But Amina didn't complain. She loved sitting in the front row, holding her broken pencil tightly, and listening to every word the teacher said. One day, while cleaning her small home, Amina found something strange in an old bag that had been donated by a charity years ago. It was a thin English book with pictures. She didn't know many English words, but she held the book like it was gold. She stared at the pages for hours, trying to match pictures with words. Apple, tree, girl, she whispered slowly. At first, it felt like reading a secret language. But Amina was not afraid. There was no internet in her village, no mobile signal. No one around her spoke English. Not her parents, not her neighbors, not even her teacher. But she made a decision that day. If I can learn this language, maybe I can tell the world my story. That night, Amina sat under a small oil lamp, holding the book. Her little brother slept beside her. Outside, the wind howled across the sand. But inside, Amina's mind was alive with thoughts, hopes, and questions. How do people speak this language so easily? Where do they learn it? Can someone like me, from a village like this, really learn English? Her heart said yes. So her journey began, with one book, one lamp, and a dream in her heart. Amina continued learning from the small English book she found. But soon, she finished all the pages. She had no new words to study. There was no library nearby, no phone, and no teacher who could help her with English. Still, she didn't stop. One day, Amina's uncle came to visit from a nearby town. He brought a gift, a small old radio. It doesn't catch many channels, he said, but maybe you can use it for music. Amina thanked him politely. That night, while turning the knob, trying to hear something, she found a strange channel. The voices were speaking fast, and the words were not in Urdu or Sindhi. They were in English. She could not understand most of it, but she recognized a few words from her book. Hello, school, mother. Her heart beat fast. She had found a new way to learn. From that day, she listened to the radio every night. She didn't care if she only understood one or two words. She kept listening. Over time, she began to recognize more. She wrote down words that sounded familiar. Then she asked her school teacher the next day what they meant, or tried to guess from the tone and context. Soon, she made a word notebook. On the left page, she wrote the English word. On the right page, she wrote the meaning in Urdu. Every morning, after feeding the goats, Amina read her notebook. Every night, after washing the dishes, she listened to the radio with full attention. One day, her teacher noticed the notebook. "Where did you learn this many words?" he asked. "I listened to the English news on the radio," Amina replied with a smile. The teacher was surprised. "You are teaching yourself?" Amina nodded. The teacher paused for a moment and then said, "Amina, you have a gift. Never stop learning. One day, this language will take you far." Those words stayed in Amina's heart. From that moment, she believed even more. I may live in a small village, but I can learn something big. And every time she listened to the radio, it didn't feel like just sound, it felt like hope. As months passed, Amina's confidence grew. Her notebook was now full of English words. She had learned over 300 words just by listening to the radio and asking questions. But still, she hadn't spoken a full sentence in English. She was scared. What if she said it wrong? What if others laughed? Then one day, something special happened. A group of volunteers from a nearby city came to Amina's village. They were part of an NGO that helped children continue their studies. They came with books, clothes, and some food packets. They also spoke English. One of the volunteers, a young woman named Sarah, smiled at Amina and said, "Hello, what is your name?" Amina's heart started beating fast. She wanted to run. But then she remembered all those nights listening to the radio, all those words she wrote, and her teacher's words. "One day, this language will take you far." She took a deep breath and said, "My name is Amina Khan." Sarah clapped her hands. "Wow, that's great English." Amina smiled shyly, but inside her, a fire lit up. It was her first sentence in English, spoken to someone from outside her world. Sarah spent the day at the village school. She gave a small speech in English and then translated it into Urdu. Amina listened closely. At the end of the day, Sarah handed her a small gift, a children's English storybook. "You're special," she said. "Keep going." Amina read that book every day. It had short stories with pictures and easy sentences. She copied the sentences into her notebook and practiced reading them aloud. Soon she was able to say, "This is a cat. I like apples. My village is small but beautiful." Her little brother giggled when she spoke in English, but Amina didn't mind. For the first time, English was not scary anymore. Now, whenever she looked at the sky at night, she whispered to herself, "One day, I will speak English very well. One day, I will go abroad. One day, my dream will come true." A year had passed since Amina spoke her first sentence in English. She was now 16. Life in her village was still the same: dusty roads, long days, and not much money. But something inside Amina had changed. She was no longer afraid of English. She now helped her younger brother and sister with their homework. She spoke small English phrases at home. Her parents didn't understand much, but they smiled with pride. One afternoon, Amina's teacher came into the classroom with exciting news. "There will be an online English-speaking competition," she said. "It's for village students. You can join from your mobile phone. You have to record a 2-minute video in English, telling about your life and dreams." All the students went quiet. Amina felt her heart beat fast. Her hands were shaking. "Me? Speak English in a video? No way," she thought. But that night, she couldn't sleep. She remembered Sarah, the volunteer. She remembered the storybook she read so many times. And she remembered her dream to study abroad one day. The next morning, she told her teacher, "Miss, I want to try." Her teacher smiled. "I believe in you." With her teacher's help, Amina wrote a short speech. "My name is Amina Khan. I live in a small village in Pakistan. I love learning. I want to speak English fluently. One day, I want to study in London and become a teacher." She practiced again and again. She recorded the video on her father's old mobile phone. It wasn't perfect, her voice was soft, her English had some mistakes, and the background was just a small mud house. But it was real. It was honest. It was brave. She sent the video. And waited. 1 week later, the results came. Amina won 3rd place. It was not the top prize, but for her, it was everything. She received a certificate, a small scholarship, and a brand new English dictionary. Everyone in her village clapped for her. Even those who once laughed at her efforts now looked at her with respect. That night, Amina sat under the stars, holding the dictionary. Her eyes were full of tears, not of sadness, but of hope. She whispered to the wind, "I'm getting closer. I won't stop now." Amina's life slowly began to change after winning the English-speaking competition. She became more confident. She no longer hid in the back of the class. She raised her hand. She asked questions. She even helped her classmates with English. One day, her teacher, Miss Farzana, pulled her aside. "There is a program," she said. "It helps village girls apply for scholarships to study abroad. It's hard to get in, but I think you should try." Amina's heart jumped. "Study abroad? Really? Girls like me don't get those chances," she said. Miss Farzana smiled. "Girls like you make those chances." The application was long and difficult. Amina had to write an essay in English, talk in an interview, and send her school results. Every evening, after helping her mother with chores, she studied under the lantern light. Her father sold some of his old tools to pay for internet data so Amina could email her application. Her mother prayed every night. Weeks passed. No news. Then, one hot afternoon, an email arrived. Amina had been selected for a full scholarship to study English and education in Malaysia. She ran outside, laughing, crying, screaming. Her father hugged her tightly. Her mother could not stop smiling. Neighbors came to hear the news. Some didn't even know where Malaysia was, but they all knew what Amina had done. The girl who once hid her notebook was now flying to another country. For years later, Amina stood on a big stage in Kuala Lumpur. She was wearing a black graduation gown. In front of her sat hundreds of people, students, teachers, families. She held a piece of paper in her hand, her degree. When her name was called, she walked up proudly. She had done it. After the ceremony, she took out her phone and opened a video call. Her family appeared on the screen, her mother's eyes full of tears, her father sitting straight with pride, her siblings waving behind. "I did it, Ami. Abu. This is not just my degree. It is ours." Later that evening, Amina looked at the city lights of Malaysia. And then she looked up at the stars, the same stars she used to see in her small village. She remembered the girl who once whispered to herself in broken English, "One day, I will study abroad." And now here she was,